Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the So I Heard podcast. If you guys are new to this, my name is KD. Hopefully you guys are having a good one. Hopefully you guys had a good week. I had a great week. This is my Friday from work, so it's about to be even better. Got back from Las Vegas on Wednesday. Had a good time, man. Still sucks, though. Still don't have my contacts. So I've said it for the last couple of episodes that since I didn't have my contacts, I wasn't really going to be editing down these podcast episodes like I normally would. It's just, I don't want my eyes to be strained too much, like really trying to cut out everything that I want to cut out and just make it sound as neat as possible. But hopefully you guys still enjoy the content, of course. Great time in Vegas. So many people in Vegas. One thing that was shocking is that I didn't expect so many people to get rid of wearing masks so soon. I thought I was going to go into Vegas and it was going to be like close numbers or percentages of people, people that are wearing masks, people that aren't wearing masks. But it seemed like everybody out there was like, fuck these masks. And I kind of understand, what I mean? We've been wearing it for the whole year of 2020 and most of this year. But still, I don't know, man. I feel like I still have to go out and wear a mask. I'm still looking for my mask before I go into a store or anything like that. I think I'm still trying to play it safe. And of course, I'm one of the people that didn't get vaccinated yet. It's not like I don't believe in it or anything like that. It's just I haven't done it yet. My mom's been telling me, man, you need to go get it. My girlfriend's been telling me, man, you need to go get it. My dad's been asking me, are you going to get it? And I will. I definitely will. I just need to set up an appointment and go. But, yeah, it was a ton of people out there. But it was fun, though. Got to enjoy all the great things in Vegas. I don't really gamble, so that wasn't really something that I was doing, but still had a lot of fun, enjoyed a good view. I'm going to edit a vlog for this trip and have that out on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to check out my YouTube, it is whoiskd. And then, you guys can see what the vlog is like, see what my other videos are like. But anyway, we need to get into this topic. So the topic of today is going to be about friendships, right? So first, I'm going to have to start off with, I guess, history or my feelings towards friendships. Actually, let's start with history, right? So the history of me and having friends is been around for so long. I'm not going to say like, oh, I was Mr. Popular or anything like that. I'm not going to say that, but I have always had a cool amount of friends. Being in elementary school, made friends pretty quickly with, other kids. Grew up on a street where there were kids. Most of the kids had moved away, but growing up, there was always a lot of kids on my street. So I was always out playing with other kids, inside of kids' other houses, just chilling with them and their family, or they're chilling with me and my family and stuff like that. But then when it really got into going to school, made even more friends, I guess I'm kind of like the funny person, so it kind of made it easy for me to make friends. And yeah, that pretty much just carried all the way through, with, grade school, going from elementary all the way to high school, and even afterwards, just being cool and going out and being this social person. So the main thing I wanted to talk about is kind of like the changes, right? And I'm sure a lot of you guys have changed in some sort of way. Now we always hear the conversation of people being introverts or extroverts and different stuff like that. And I feel like over the years, it did change. I'm still that person that doesn't really like to go a lot of places by myself. By myself, messed up. But I know some people that can go a lot of places by themselves and really enjoy it by themselves and, just soak in the day, I guess. Now, one thing that I did used to do, I remember outside of high school when I first started my first job, worked at medical records, sometimes I would go to the beach by myself, you know what I mean? And then I would just go and chill at the beach by myself and sit in the car or whatever and just take in like the sunset, the beautiful sunset. I don't know if I've described it in other podcast episodes, but that stuff is so calming to me, and it's something that I've always loved, for pretty much my whole life. So that was something that I did and would just go chill and relax and everything. There's been a couple of times where I'm parked in a car at the beach. I'm just listening to the sounds of the ocean, the seagulls flying, and everything, and I fall asleep in the car. You know what I'm saying? But just something that was calming. But yeah, as far as being like one of those people that could just go and be, at the movies, at a restaurant by themselves, I always look at those people like, damn, how do you do that? Like, how do you go to a movie theater and you are just watching a movie solo dolo by yourself? I can do it at the house, of course, and be perfectly fine. It's not that I have a problem with being alone. You know what I mean? I am an only child, so I know what it's like being a kid. Even though there were so many kids on the street, those kids still went home. And when I came into the house, it was just me and my parents. So I know what it's like to be alone, but it wasn't one of those things that really affected me because there was always other children around. So I didn't really feel alone. And people always ask me that question. Over the years, they end up finding out, hey, what? Like, you're an only child? You don't have no siblings? And the first thing that's going to come to their mind or come out of their mouths is, you're spoiled. Or was it lonely? And of course, there were times like where I was like, oh, yeah, man, I wish I had a sibling. But then I would see how friends of mine had younger siblings, and their younger siblings will always just be so annoying. And that was something that I was just like, all right, maybe I don't need a sibling, But I still look at people even today that have siblings. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. The cool connections that they've built, they got each other's back, you know what I mean? It just seems very fun and cool to have that other person there with you. But yeah, it didn't really affect me so much to the point where I'm like, damn, I'm just alone and sad or anything like that. But yeah, just thinking about how those friends were with their siblings, I thought it was cool. But going into building friendships in school. So building friendships in school, I think that's pretty much where everybody starts. You might have like your parents' friends that have children, or you got like cousins or something like that. For me personally, I didn't have a lot of cousins that were my age that lived where we live. I have some cousins that live down south that were a little bit closer to my age, and then I have younger cousins, which, of course, we were close, especially when we were younger, but still they were younger than I was. So, yeah, I think it was just one of the issues that I really used to have growing up and being in school at a young age. Is like, I would be so talkative in class. And thinking about it now as an adult, I was like, all right, cool. This was my time to make friends. This was my time to socialize with other children. So I was just really, taking advantage of it. And in elementary and everything, of course, I was still getting my school stuff done, but it's like I finished my stuff and then I'm socializing in class. And of course, the teacher is not having that. But I think that's what it was, and I think that was just my moment to be like, oh, okay, cool. I get to have some fun with some kids and different stuff like that. So maybe that does play on me being a little bit lonely, I guess, knowing that I'm going to just go home and most likely just be by myself, be with my parents. But, of course, it wasn't like I had a lack of attention. My parents gave me great attention. but it was just like, when you don't have anybody in the house that's your age, certain stuff is a little bit different. Um, but yeah, I've always had I don't know. I feel like when I was younger, my friend group was definitely bigger. And I think that's something that's common, you know. I hear a lot of people, we can even take like Drake's song lyric of "No New Friends." You know what I mean? Obviously, you're like, no new friends. Like, I don't have a problem with meeting people, but at this age, I think I don't go out to network or try to get to know people as much as I did when I was younger. When I was younger, I was a little bit more open to it. I think it's because over the years, I've started to build this mental collection of how people's, personalities are. And in certain ways, I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, in certain ways, I think that might have scared me away from trying to get to know a lot of people. I go on social media so many times and and I see people talking about constant drama that they're dealing with friends. Saw somebody yesterday talking about they feel like people in their friend group aren't being real, and we've been cool all these years, and this and this, and it's like, damn, man, like, and I don't want it to seem like it's this discouraging thing, or it's something I'm like really running from or anything like that, but I think you become more selective. You're checking more boxes as you get older for people that will be in your friend group. I think that happens with pretty much everybody. If you sit there and think about your life right now, guaranteed back in the day when you were younger, you were hanging around way, way, way more people. It's so funny because I look at celebrities, especially like these rappers and stuff, and they walk around with this big ass entourage of a whole bunch of people. And it's like, damn, you really walking around with this many people? It sounds bad because I'm thinking like, dude, you got to trust all these people. And it's kind of sad to say that because it's like, damn, you want to trust people, definitely. You want people to be there for you, right? But at the same time, the reality of it. That's why you end up hearing these rappers and stuff rapping about people they used to be cool with. They had to get rid of them. And, I'm not talking about get rid of them like kill them, but I'm saying like get rid of them, like get away from them, push away from them and all that stuff. And a lot of these people that are successful always talk about, man, I thought it was a lot of people that were there for me. And then I ended up finding out with time that, they were there for the money, for the fame and all this different stuff. They weren't really there for them. And I'm not saying I'm famous or I got money or anything like that, but I'm saying you still deal with those issues as a regular person. And a lot of people probably sit there and think, nah, these celebrities ain't dealing with that stuff. And it'd be wrong to think that because, like, bro, they're people at the end of the day. I think even then you have to be worried a little bit more because now people are after more things. You're famous, they want to be famous. You hear about all this stuff, people used to be cool, and now all these people dropping scandals and all this stuff about them. It's like, damn, I thought y'all were cool. Like, where did this come from? People trying to get their little fame or whatever, anything. So for me, with friendship, I feel like there's certain stuff I kind of backed away from a little bit. One thing for sure, I'll use an example. When I was in high school, there was someone that I used to hang out with a lot. I'm not going to be using any names or any of the examples, but there was someone I used to hang around a lot. As I got older, got out of high school and everything, we started working our jobs and stuff was cool. But at the same time, I started making time for other stuff. Now, I said in the other episode talking about relationships that in high school, I wasn't really in relationships like that. I didn't really view relationships as a serious thing back then, or, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't, So once I got out of high school, I'm working, I'm doing school stuff, and I'm getting in relationships. So you only have so much time within the day. I wasn't able to hang with some friends as much as I used to. And I thought that this was a normal thing. I feel that it is a normal thing. Things happen, you progress. Of course, we're friends. We ain't dating, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I get in my relationship, you get in your relationship or whatever. We make time for things that start to matter more. So at that time, it's like, all right, cool. There was a couple of things I had to set out on. End up changing jobs. Just got hired for a job. And I remember they were going to like Las Vegas or something like that. I'm like, yo, I can't go. Just got hired at this job. You know, you're under some type of probation time or something like that. And I feel like there were a lot of attitudes. And it's like, yo, like, this isn't just me making up something. This is a valid thing. This is a responsibility. You know what I'm saying? If I don't continue to work this job, you guys aren't about to give me this money. You know what I'm saying? So not just trying to make it sound like it was just for the money, but it's like, bro, like, this is a job. And I feel like the adult thing to do was to respect that decision. Like I kept saying, I was like, yo, I really want to go. Like, of course, why would I not want to go on a trip and have fun with friends? So then that happened, and that made me push back from these group of people a little bit more. Then it's like certain stuff where it's kind of like you start hearing certain stuff, and it's like, damn, what the fuck did I really do? Now, there's certain ways you can handle that, of course, with conversation, of course. But like I said, this was earlier in my years. You know what I mean? Like, still maybe like a teenager, 19, 18 and stuff like that. So, of course, conversation isn't always going to come to mind first. You know, everybody's going to be in their stubborn ways and different stuff like that. But for me, I felt like my reasoning was very, very valid. So, started hearing stuff. I'm not one of those people that's going to go and just start confronting everybody. I just push back. I fall back. That's how I deal with things. Now, in a lot of situations, like I said, when I was younger, my mind isn't in the state of being like, okay, we need to hash this out. We need to really talk this out and get to an understanding. I feel like that's something that comes with maturity and everything, and being able to really socialize and problem solve and all this different shit. But then another thing I do get annoyed with is if I'm trying to really speak my piece and that person just isn't seeing that side. They're not trying to see it from my perspective. That's another moment where I just push back and be like, you know what? This ain't working. It's cool. Let's just go our separate ways. And it hasn't been hard for me to separate myself from situations. And it's not really, people look at it and say, oh, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I see people constantly going through stuff over and over and over and over with the same people. And it's like, bro, you gotta look at this situation and be like, this ain't the situation for me. I gotta step back. I gotta look at the situation for what it is, and I gotta step back. That's something that I had to do. And in a lot of ways, people could probably call it selfish because it's me really just saying I'm looking out for myself. But at the end of the day, and I always say this about groups, relationships, whatever, you're all individuals in these groups. You ain't feeling right about the situation. One thing you can do, talk about it with the people that are in that group. Try to get to an understanding. If there's no right understanding, something that makes you feel comfortable, step away from the situation. Maybe time will bring everything back together. You know what I'm saying? But for that moment, do what's best for you. And a lot of people don't like saying that, right? I always think about a situation, well, not a specific situation, but situations that I hear about. A lot of things I observe, right? So thinking about these situations where things happen and you have friends, and these friends I believe they get like the definition of friendship mixed up. There's people that will literally get you in situations over and over and over and over. You're not even the cause of those situations. But then you have those people that'll sit there and say, well, shit, we're friends. We got to deal with each other's bullshit. That right there is foolish as hell to me. And not just with friends. That goes with family. That goes with anybody else you're close with. It's like, yo, no, I'm not here to constantly clean up this mess or be in this mess with you. There's nothing wrong with helping friends, being supportive and being there for them. But once you start noticing those patterns, you have to be smart and realize you're being dragged into this over and over and over. And those people will probably call you selfish. But at the same time, you got to look at it this way. They're being selfish by not thinking about your well-being. One thing about me is, if I've ever had any issues, man, people used to have to pry information out of me because I didn't want you to come and have to be in my stuff. If this is my situation, this is my situation. I'm not trying to pull you into my bullshit. And I think that's how friendship should be. I think a real friend should know when they're messing up and be okay with saying, you know what, I'll handle this. Not just looking for people to constantly join the bullshit with them. That's not right. Why are you pulling such and such into it? Such and such don't have nothing to do with it. And people will be like, oh, well, you don't want to do that? Well, you're not loyal. What? It's people sitting in prison right now for another person. The other person out here living their life, doing whatever. And you don't even know. You don't even know if they would have really did the same thing for you. You did it for them. You in prison looking crazy as hell. They out here living life. Some people in there for life for stupid stuff like that. And it's like, oh man, I'm real though. I'm real. Really? You really dumb. That's what you are. Don't sit there and be getting pulled into all kind of stuff just because. You know what I mean? You trying to be cool with somebody. You trying to prove your loyalty and all that. No, not with the constant patterns. You know who you're dealing with. Another thing people don't like to do is a lot of people don't like to tell people what it is. Now, I've gotten into some problems before because I've said what it was. Here's another thing, going back to history. One thing that sits with me so much in life, and as I've been growing up and getting older and stuff, is I remember back in the day, somebody told me that I was too nice. They told me I was too nice, right? And I really thought about that and was like, am I? Like, I don't think I was letting people get over on me or anything like that. But maybe there was just a certain way that I was handling things that, you know, I don't know if they were viewing it because in a lot of situations I am kind of nonchalant. I don't let things bother me as much as I see it bother other people. But at the same time, I was like, am I really too nice? And I felt like I was just being me. So years passed. And I was also thinking about this. I was like, it would be a good conversation to ask people, where do you think in life you made some changes? Where do you think in life you started to view a lot of things differently? We have to constantly think about connections because we're not really out here building connections with anybody else other than humans. Now, we might have pets or whatever, but we're constantly dealing with people. So we have to think about that. We're dealing with their emotions. We're dealing with this. We're dealing with that. And you have to think about those situations like, all right, is this situation something that I really value, that I feel like I should be trying to fix, that I should be trying to cherish or whatever? Or is this something where I'm like, I don't know about the situation. Maybe I just need to fall back. And I'm not saying that my friendships in the past weren't something that I really cherished or really loved or whatever, but it was just like, damn, I'm trying to move this way, but shit is still moving this way. You know what I mean? And, you know, I feel like, honestly, at this point, since I feel like things are very different than how it was when I was younger. I feel like, yes, there's some conversations that need to be had between me and some people that I was cool with. And we really need to sit down and have a conversation and try to see where things went. You know, of course, there's probably misunderstandings on both sides. I'm not trying to just blame other people, but at the same time, you know, I got my stubborn ways and, you know, shit I probably didn't want to listen to or whatever. I probably don't even remember some of this stuff from years ago. My mindset was different. I wasn't that open to having these conversations. We would have some meaningful conversations, but sometimes when it comes to talking about shit that's wrong with you, you don't really want to face it. You know what I'm saying? or even trying to talk to somebody else about something that might be wrong with them. They might not want to face it. They might not want to own up to it. Maybe they don't even notice that they're really that way. But honestly, all you could do is just keep trying. There's been friendships that have, went away and then found our way back and everything like that. But then stuff was still weird afterwards. And it's like, man, damn, this is another time I tried to be cool and some other crap happened. Then you back away. You know what I'm saying? That same friend that I talked about from high school, years later, became cool again, got in touch and everything. Pretty much the same thing. They got a job. I got a job. Then it's like, oh, let's chill. All right, cool, let's chill. When we gonna chill, man? Hey, what days are you off? Trying to set something up, make something, meet. Man, damn, nah, I'm busy. All right, cool. Well, we'll figure something out. It's like, man, can you call off? Like, bruh, nah, I'm not really about to just call off just to chill like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, why not? Because it's work and that's a serious thing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not just calling off just to be chilling randomly. And I'm not saying, I have never called off to go to a function or something, something like that. Yeah, but I don't do it often. And I feel like that should be recognized as, oh, okay, this is a responsible person, instead of being like, oh, man, he didn't want to hang with the group. You know what I'm saying? So with that, it was another situation where with the same person where it's like, man, I had to step away. It's like, bro, you on the same shit that we was on back then when we were teenagers. You got a job. What about you call off? But if that question comes like, nah, man, I can't call off. Like, all right, what? So why am I? You got to think about a lot of stuff, man. Some people just want stuff to work out the way that they want it to work out, and they don't think about how it might be affecting you as a person, having to deal with all this. You know what I mean? I just feel like friendships are a great thing to have in life, because it opens you up to so many different things. You guys rub off on each other, you know what I mean? You guys share similarities, and, it's just a great thing. I think it is a study that shows that a lot of people that have more friends normally live a happier life. So even though I said that, yeah, there is a lot of drama that comes with some friends, it is still great to get out there and learn people and know people and, share laughs and really look at this as a positive thing. But do be selective about who you choose. Know who you're choosing. Know it's somebody that's not going to have you in these fucked up situations and feeling like a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I made somebody feel that way in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I can't just say that it's everyone else. I've made my mistakes, of course. I've done my wrong, of course. But being older and being able to analyze all of these things and really be like, all right, cool, this is where it is. And owning up to your own stuff as well. That's one of the biggest things. I think you will be able to build more meaningful, long-lasting friendships. I remember it was like, man, once the school year ends, I'm like, damn, I don't even know if I'm gonna see this kid again. We always had those school years. We might end up going to the same school with the majority of people, but then some kids move, and it's like, damn, did y'all see such and such? Like, nah, man, I heard he moved over the summer. Never see that kid again. Don't know nothing about that kid. And of course, we got social media and everything now, so it's easier to find people. But at the same time, there's some people from your past you like, damn, I ain't never seen them again. So I think that's cool. The people that really matter, the people you really want to fuck with, keep in touch with them. Talk to them. And this is advice that I even need to take for myself. I try to reach out to people and stuff. How you doing? Hey, what's up? You know what I mean? I hit people up on their birthday or whatever. If they got something going, hey, congratulations or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, try to do stuff like that. If I see them with a post that sounds like they going through something, I really hit them up in the DMs like, hey, man, you need to talk about something. That's what I do. I feel like that's something that's good to do. You know what I mean? Some people need that ear. Are we hanging out all the time? No, we're not hanging out all the time, but I still will talk to you. I still will be there for you. That's what friendship is. And I'm not saying, oh, they're about to pull me into their bullshit. It's like, no, let's talk about this. Maybe it's something that I can say. Maybe it's something that I've experienced and I can give you some type of input on it or whatever. Shit, maybe you can do the same for me. I think that's what a friendship is. So all these people that's out there thinking you in a stressful ass situation with your friends because your friends constantly doing stupid stuff and you being dragged into it, that ain't no damn friendship. First step that you need to do is have a conversation with that person about the stuff that they're doing and how you feel about it. My issue in the past was the fact that I would see stuff that I didn't agree with and I step away, start distancing myself instead of confronting that situation and having that conversation. I felt it was easier for me to do that. One thing for me, I feel like a lot of times when I try to have conversations with people and I get a little blunt with stuff, I'm treated like I'm just saying fucked up stuff. And it's not really like I'm just trying to say it in a fucked up way. It's just, hey, I'm saying it because I feel like you need to hear it. And I'll explain that. I'll say that. But some people still take stuff a certain way. Maybe I am being too aggressive with how I come off with the explanation or something. But it's no hard feelings. It ain't like I'm just coming at you and really trying to be mad at you and I'm really on some evil type of stuff. No, it's not that. I'm hoping that you listen to the words and things that I have to express. So once I started getting to that, I'm like, damn, all right, cool. I'm starting to express myself more. I'm starting to be able to have these conversations more. Now I have to kind of think about how I'm going to word this to the point where I don't seem like I'm coming off a certain way, like I'm chastising people my age, like they kids or something. I think all of us deserve to have friendships, man. There's so many different types of people that are into so many different things. If you somebody out there feeling like you constantly are alone or you can't make friends or anything, dude, just try to find like-minded people that are interested in stuff that you're interested in. Don't be out here trying to fake the funk and trying to act like you somebody that you're not just to make friends. You can stay yourself and still make friends. Don't try so hard to sit there and fit in, because it sounds like something that I'll be telling to like younger kids, but it is people that are my age and older that are out here trying to fit in and trying to act a certain type of way, and they ain't even who they are. You don't have to do all that. You can find somebody that's going to feel the same way about you or even feel better about you and accept you for who you are. Don't be out here trying to act like such and such just because you want to hang with them. You end up finding out they ain't even that fucking cool. So yeah, in closing, hopefully you guys do have long friendships that you do cherish in life. If you guys enter these rocky points, have these conversations. Don't make the mistakes that I've made in the past with just not saying anything and just kind of distancing myself or like ghosting shit. Treat them a little bit better. And also make sure that you're being treated good in these friendships, or I was about to say relationships, but friendships and relationships as well. Hopefully you guys like the episode. I know this might seem like a short one or something like that. It was just something that was really picking my brain, man. I was thinking about. But yeah, check me out on my socials. My Instagram is It's King KD. My YouTube is whoiskd. My Twitter is who_is_KD 2 underscores. And I'll check you guys out later. Thank you for listening.